Hey guys, it's Brant. I'm back with another track versus track video, and I've got my co-host Carla.
Hello.
And it's been a while, and me and Carla was just getting caught up with each other before we started recording. And busy. Both of us are crazy busy, and busy times, busy summer, busy work, busy personal life. It's just all over busy, and I'm sure a lot of you are too, as things starting to loosen up a little bit. I know I have viewers all over the world, and I'm fortunate to have viewers all over the world. And I talk to several of you on a weekly basis, and I know in some parts of the world, like overseas in Europe, where viewers like David King are, that it's still a little tight over there in Europe, and then in some other parts of the world is still a little tight and still a little shut down. But here in the U.S., man, we busting doors wide open. I mean, it's just like I even heard here in the state of North Carolina that we may be going into a phase by the end of June, by the end of May or end of June, where we don't even have to wear masks anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the governor said if we get to a 2/3 of people immunized, that you don't have to. He'll lift the mask thing.
Right.
And even some places are starting to. I walked in a place the other day and nobody had masks on, and went to a trip to Tennessee several weeks back to get a car. And we walked into a dealership. Me and my wife was the only people had masks on.
Yeah.
And everybody, the people that work there and everybody were like, can we take these off? They're like, do you want us to put one on? And we're like, we don't have it. And they're like, we don't either. So everybody took their masks off. So we were just talking. Carla was talking. She works in radio, talking about how concerts are starting to get lined up again, and that's just real exciting to see. Me and my wife had scheduled to go see a concert in Virginia. It was Edwin McCain, and me and my wife were huge Edwin McCain fans. He was real big when we got married 20 years ago, and he was going to be playing at this kind of intimate place up in Alexandria, Virginia, and it got canceled. But I got an email today that it's been rescheduled, but it's been rescheduled for March of 2022. So, so we're going to have to wait another year, a little under a year, to see Edwin. But there's a bunch of concerts being scheduled by big bands and small bands, and even local bands around here. There's a good local band called Throwdown Jones. Their bass player, Scott Rock, he has the Kiss Room. He's been in my videos before, and they're starting to play again. They just came back from Florida, playing at Bike Week, and they're starting to kick out playing again and everything. And it's just really cool to see festivals starting to come back. And I don't think we're going to be quite full throttle this year, but maybe 2022. I think hopefully 2022 things will be back to what we call normal, if we ever get back to being normal. But so it's good to be back. It's good to have Carla here, and we are talking about today track versus track between the Kiss, the debut album, and Love Gun. And a lot of you put in on this. We had 56 on the panel, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And just be sure to stick around to the end of the video, because we are changing the way we're going to do voting on track versus track for the next track versus track we're going to do. I'm going to do an experiment, and I'm going to drive you all to a website called SurveyMonkey, and you're going to be able to vote on SurveyMonkey, because it compiles the results for me, and that'll save me like 4 hours of work. So we're going to be driving you all to that SurveyMonkey. The link will be whenever I put the thing up for the next track versus track. The link will be in there, and you just go click on it, and it takes you to it. Rather than commenting it, you go there and you just click which one of the tracks you like better over the other and hit submit, and you could literally be done in less than a minute. So and it'll make it easier for you and make it hella lot easier for me. And yes, I did say hella. Kiss, the debut album versus Love Gun. Let's talk about this, Carla. What's your thoughts on this? What you think your prediction? What's your prediction going to be between the two of them? And a little bit about, I know you probably, if we talked about the debut album, but let's talk a little bit about Love Gun, since this is the Love Gun's first going up against the debut album. So what do you think a little bit about these two, and what's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, these are two huge albums for the band. I mean, the first album for any band, it's going to be a huge album for them. And for Love Gun, it was another huge album. I mean, there was a huge song off this album, obviously Love Gun. I mean, it was huge for the band. And what I really love about Love Gun is I think it's a really great representation of the band. They can rock, they love sex, and this album has both of those things on it. It's really, to me, a pure Kiss album. And if I was trying to take it a step further with someone who didn't know Kiss very well, instead of giving them a few songs, if I had to give them an album, Love Gun might be the album I give them. It would be a toss-up between this one and the debut, but I love Love Gun. I love it for everything that it is. I love the cover. I love all of it. I think the panel's going to stick with the debut, though. I think it's going to be close, but I think the panel's going to stick with the debut. And without giving too much away, I will say that for my personal picks, I was blown away by my results. I totally thought I was going to go one way. I ended up going another way. So we'll get to that, but I just can't say enough good things about Love Gun. I love it.
It's funny how that happens, how you think that you're going to go one way with some of your picks and you end up going another.
Right?
I agree with you. To me, these are two, as far as studio albums goes, these are two of the most iconic Kiss albums. And like you said, you have the debut album, which is what started their career. But with Love Gun, you have, to me, as a kid who grew up during this time, I was 8 when Love Gun came out, and even though my first album was Destroyer, right after I became a Kiss fan, Alive 2 came out. I didn't realize that Love Gun even existed because my grandmother bought me Destroyer, and then my mom bought me Love Gun, or brought me Alive 2 when it came out. The third album that I ever owned of Kiss was Love Gun. And to me, Love Gun and Alive 2, it just encapsulates that 70s Kiss.
Yes.
That what we, if you close your eyes and you think of Kiss, you see, Paul, and you see with his star spandex on, and Ace with his silver things, and Gene with his chain, and all the iconic pictures by Barry Levine during this time on the cubes and Mylar, and just so many photographs, so much video, so much concert footage, so many bootlegs, so much from this era.
Yeah.
And Love Gun is it's what started that. It started this era with the costumes being debuted in King Kelly's painting on the cover. And to me, they're hands down my favorite costumes. The Love Gun Alive 2 era is hands down my favorite era of Kiss, inside of a mini era, inside of a later 70s era. It's that encapsulation of those 2 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. And so both of these albums, I have a deep love for both of these albums in my heart. And so, but I agree with you. I think that the old school, the OG Kiss, even though Love Gun was the OG Kiss, still the cracks and the fissures, and some of the people that are OG Kiss fans, like my viewer Demons of Rock, that's been on the show before. That's 74 to 74, 75 Kiss, that first 3 albums and the first live album, that is their era. And and then Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Alive 2, that's my era. That's me. That's when Kiss had me and got me. So But I still think that the OGs are going to win on this one, and I still think that I agree with you that the debut is going to win. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close. So we had, let's see, we had how many on the panel? 40, 50, 60, 60. How many is here? 66, 40, 50, 56. 56 on the panel. It says right there, 56 on the panel. Okay, so open if I just read my notes. All right. So me and Carla, and from YouTube, Sonic Riccardi. Let's talk about you guys. Sonic Riccardi, Solar Garlic, which I think is new. Emily Graziano, Miss M, Milton the Monster, Hein from Voice of Doom, Future Squash 767, The Demons of Rock, Jay Lee, Paul Bertolino, Mixie Hara, John B. Good, James Dean, Revin FM, Jesse Ray, Robbie Stars, Jeremy Kimona, Super Kiss 1300, Joel Pegg, Roger Bennett, Warren Glover, Sublime 130, Les Wadley, Fromo, Hard Rock Reverie, John Howard, Kanan Haywood, Insufficient Data at the moment, Star Child. I like that. Chad Casey, Amon 1972, Gregory Pegg, Keith Nidu, Mikkel D. From Twitter, Tony Rod, Tom Dust, Andy, Steve Hardy, Darren Helliwell, David King, I Love It Louder, Stuart Thorpe, Bill Sharp, Jaden Rucker, and Love Gun Girl. And Love Gun Girl, me and her were talking about we're going to be doing a video together, so be on the look for that. And she's been in videos with me before in the past. Facebook, John Sweeney, Matt Ucci, Scotty Sky, Scott Lushka, Instagram, Kiss113SL, Doyle Eric Ross, Brian Benny, Tony P1, Rick from It's All For You Demon, Justin Churchy Hansen, Matthew Smith from MD Smith Comics, and A.A. Ron, A.J. Zetro, 1975. Those are my boys, I tell you. I love them. We talk almost on a daily basis, and they make my life complete. You guys complete me, I tell you. Y'all really do. So that is all of us. So let's get right into it. We got 10 tracks. So we're going to start off with predictions for Strutter off the first album, going up against I Stole Your Love off of Love Gun.
I think the album Love Gun is going to take the first song for this. I think it's going to be I Stole Your Love.
I agree. I Stole Your Love. And it's, like you talked about, it's the opener. So yeah. We'll talk about that once we talk about the winner. I agree with you. I think I Stole Your Love is going to win. I found this track versus track pretty easy to predict. Now my predictions, I don't know if they're all right, but I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be this. Oh yeah, it's going to be this. So coming in, the loser of track number 1 with 12 points off the debut album, Strutter. Strutter has 12 points. That leaves 44 points for I Stole Your Love. I Stole Your Love wins the first track. And what can you say about I Stole Your Love? It's what they used to start the Love Gun tour and the Alive 2 tour. Well, maybe not the Alive 2 tour, but I know that they started the Love Gun tour with I Stole Your Love, not Detroit Rock City. Detroit Rock City, I think, was actually the encore. But they would start with I Stole Your Love. And so it started their album and it started their show. Mm-hmm. So me personally, my personal pick for this, I Stole Your Love. I've never been the biggest Strutter fan. I got respect for it. But I Stole Your Love, this was an easy pick. This was an easy pick for me. So what about for you?
This was kind of hard because I always go with Strutter. Whenever Strutter is up against another song, I always go with Strutter. This was pretty hard for me, but I ended up going with I Stole Your Love. Total broken record here. If you've seen any video with me in it, I always mention the first track. I always judge differently than the rest of the album. To me, it's album opener versus album opener. Which one's more powerful? And I think in this case, it is I Stole Your Love. I mean, talk about a first track, talk about a first taste of an album, That's what I Stole Your Love is for me. So I had to go with I Stole Your Love.
Yeah, powerful way to start an album. All right, so that takes us to that gives Love Gun one to start. You gonna keep up with them for me because I didn't do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, all right. So I gotta have my executive producer doing something for me, keeping me straight. All right, so that takes us to track number 2. That is Nothing to Lose off the first album versus Christine 16 from Love Gun.
For some reason, this one, I thought the panel could go either way. I think this one's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be Nothing to Lose. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, right now we're cheating off each other's papers because I said the same thing. I said Nothing to Lose, and I thought this was going to be close.
Yeah.
And I just thought maybe because I had the mentality that the OGs were going to win on this one.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of my viewers are OG. So I thought, well, maybe they were going to pull it out, but I wrote on my notes, going to be close. So I'm predicting Nothing to Lose. Coming in as the loser of track number 2 with 26 points. So it is close. It is only a 4-point difference. But coming in as the loser is Christine 16. Nothing to Lose, 30 points. Nothing to Lose, 30 points. So Nothing to Lose. I mean, what can we say about Nothing to Lose that we haven't said already? Great Peter vocal and everything. So, but me personally, I was on the Christine 16 bandwagon on this one. I love Nothing to Lose. And this is one of those that it was a little hard for me, but I had to sit down and listen to them one right beside each other. And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I'm really vibing and really feeling Christine 16 on this one. So I went with it. Great. It's Gene, man. Gene was in his element. When Gene wasn't trying to be the demon, he was trying to pick up 16-year-old high school girls. And so just the whole monologue in this. And I love the way Peter's drums sound on Love Gun. When he hits that snare, that tat, 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 and just the way his drum sounds. And Ace doing the little flipping, the little switch on his guitar, the pat, pat, pat. It's just got so many cool elements to it. So Christine 16 for me.
Yeah, same here. It's just, to me, and that's part of what I was saying earlier about how this is just such a great classic Kiss album, is Christine 16 is a classic Kiss song, in my opinion. I mean, it's just raunchy and weird and borderline creepy, but they somehow make it work to where you don't feel like a crime is being committed, but it's just so good. And it's a song you could never do today. Where I work, we play this on air, and I can't even believe we play this on air, but we do, and I love it. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's a classic Kiss song, and it's one of those songs that if you put it up against another song, it's going to be really hard to beat it. So I had to go with Christine 16.
That sultry Gene. I don't usually say things like this to girls your age. Like I said, I can just see Gene like in Domino in the car with the sunglasses on and his hair helmet that he has, and just rolling up and being like, "Hey."
Yeah, Gene is one. I don't know how he does it, but he makes vocals sweaty. Like he makes his vocals sound sweaty, and that's what it's just sweat whenever I hear Christine 16, but in the best possible way, if that makes sense.
Right. All right. So, wow, is that 2?
1-1.
Oh, it's 1-1. Okay. See, look at you keeping me straight. 1-1. All right. So that takes us to number 3. And this is track number 3 is Firehouse off the first album versus Got Love for Sale off of Love Gun.
Yeah, this was an easy one. I think the panel for sure is going to go with Firehouse.
I predicted that they were going to go with Firehouse as well. I said this is kind of this was easy. This was just easy for me to predict. We'll see if we're right the whole way down. But yeah, Firehouse was my prediction as well. Coming in as the loser with 14 points, so it's pretty definitive. 14 points for Got Love for Sale. Firehouse, 42 points. Firehouse slays Got Love for Sale. my personal pick on this one, I mean, come on. If you guys know me, you know my pick without me even having to say it. It's Firehouse. Paul Stanley wrote it when he was 16. It's one of my top 5 favorite Paul Stanley songs. I love it on the first album. I love it on Alive. And I wish they played it more to this day.
Yeah.
You know, instead of Gene doing his fire spitting to War Machine, I wish he was still doing it to Firehouse. I wish they were still playing Hotter Than Hell and Button Hotter Than Hell up against Firehouse like they did on Alive. Come on, Kiss, listen to me. But this was a tough pick for me because I'm one of those people who absolutely adores the song Got Love for Sale. I like how it just kind of just kind of smacks you coming on. And it's got that little gling, gling, little acoustic guitar glistening there. But it's just got that cool, that funky, it's got a funky beat to it. Mm-hmm. Gene's vocal on it is amazing. He sounds so great. And I just love whenever they go into that little pre-chorus and then, whoa, no. And then Peter does that roll and then you just bust into have love. That is like a magical moment on Love Gun for me. So I absolutely adore Got Love for Sale. So this was tough. But, man, come on, Firehouse, something going up against Firehouse is going to be tough for me to beat, tough to beat it for me personally. So my pick, Firehouse on this one.
Yeah, I went with Firehouse too, and I was so excited because every single time we have the debut album go up against something, for some reason it's that number 3, and I always pick whatever is up against Firehouse. And I was so excited that I got to pick Firehouse this time because I absolutely love the song. And the thing about Got Love for Sale, for me at least, is, I mean, it's right in between 2 huge Kiss songs. And so I kind of forget about it every now and then because I'm so used to Christine 16 and then Shock Me. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, there is that song in between those 2. So every now and then I need a little bit of a refresher on it. But yeah, I had to go with Firehouse for this one.
All right. So where does that leave us?
2 for the debut and 1 for Love Gun.
Okay. All right. So the one that I got cussed over on this one. There's usually one track at least I get cussed over, and this was the one. Track number 4, Cold Gin, off the first. Technically Ace versus Ace, even though Gene sang it. Cold Gin off the first album versus Shock Me off of Love Gun.
I mean, yeah, Ace versus Ace. It's that's always hard. This one, I really didn't know which way the panel was going to go. I took a shot in the dark, and I said Shock Me. Okay.
I predicted Shock Me as well. I thought that Old G's might try to riot and pull Cold Gin out of the, and make it the winner. But I thought that there was enough new, there were enough late 70s Kiss fans out there to, and maybe some of those OGs would come over to our side of things and vote for Shock Me. So I predicted Shock Me as well.
Now, if it were Cold Gin on Alive versus Shock Me, I think that would be a completely different animal. But yeah, I think, yeah.
All right. So this actually was not as close as you think. Believe it or not, it was not as close as you think. Coming in as the loser with 13 points.
Wow.
13 points. Cold Gin. Believe it or not. Cold Gin got beat by 30 points by Shock Me. 43-13. And that just goes to show you the power of that damn song. I mean, come on. Ace Frehley is just, it's what that was when the blue Kool-Aid was mixed. It was mixed whenever he did Shock Me, and whenever he did Rocket Ride, there was more blue powder added, and it was increased because, I mean, what a talent. So Shock Me, 43. My personal pick, come on, you know what it is. I love Cold Gin. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Live version, studio version, I love them both. They both, Cold Gin comes alive on Alive, and Shock Me comes alive on Alive too. But Shock Me is one of Ace's masterpieces. And it's what, if people wanted to play guitar because of Ace before leading up to Shock Me, which they did because his solos, me and Rick have always said Ace has solos you can sing, that he writes solos that you can sing. They're songs within a song. And this solo, right? If I was going to aspire to be a guitarist, I'd learn how to play guitar. And then the very first solo I would try to learn how to play is a solo from Shock Me. And I've watched people play it. There's some really cool people. And Ace even does a tutorial online of how to play it. And it's just amazing. And so Shock Me is just hands down my pick when it comes to these two. This wasn't a hard pick for me because I saw Cold Gin and Shock Me, and I was like, Shock Me. I mean, I know how good Cold Gin is, but in my book, Cold Gin's not going to beat Shock Me. The only Ace song that I know of that can come close to being Shock Me is maybe Rocket Ride, and maybe a couple songs off of his solo album, but his 78 solo album. But Shock Me is very strong in my book. So what about for you?
Yeah, I mean, Ace is my guy in Kiss. I guzzle that blue Kool-Aid. And so this was hard because I love both of these so much, but I had to go with Shock Me. I mean, Cold Gin on the debut album, it just sounds slow. And I wonder if that's just because I think I heard the Alive version first, so maybe comparatively it sounds slow, but it just sounds warped to me. And Shock Me is just, like you said, it's a masterpiece for Ace, and it shows his talent in different aspects of the band, not just as a lead guitarist, but as a vocalist, as a writer, as a performer. It really shows how well how crucial he was to the band. So yeah, I had to go with Shock Me. I was so excited to just say, yes, I'm going with Shock Me. That's what it is.
All right. So where does that leave us?
That is, it ties it up. So now it's 2 for the debut and 2 for Love Gun.
Oh, okay. All righty. So that brings us to track number 5. And this is going to be Let Me Know off the debut album, up against Tomorrow and Tonight off of Love Gun.
I think the panel's going to go with Let Me Know for this one.
Okay. I thought the panel was going to go with Let Me Know as well. Me and you have picked the same so far, and we have been right so far every single time so far. And I don't know how often that happens, but
not very often.
Not very often. Not very often do we pick the same, and not very often are we always right. No. And me and you have actually picked our favorite songs the same up to this point too. Yep. So let's see. So 5, Let Me Know against Tomorrow and Tonight. What you think? Oh, you already said what you think. Let me know. And I said, let me know as well. So I need to pay attention. All right. So coming in second, this is not actually that close. Coming in second with 18 points is Tomorrow and Tonight. Let Me Know off the debut album wins with 38 points. And my pick for me, Let Me Know. I love Let Me Know. Let Me Know is one of my favorite Kiss songs. And Tomorrow and Tonight is not, it's not too shabby either. It was an anthem they were going to try to do, and I love some of Paul Stanley's lyrics. In this, it's a Paul Stanley construction. But I like the Alive 2 version better, even though it's not technically alive. It was performed during sound check or, whatever. It actually was not performed and on the tour, and they added stage, crowd sounds and stuff like that. They loop that in. But Tomorrow and Tonight is good. But Just Let Me Know is just, to me, it's a better song. It's one of those songs I wish we would have had an opportunity to hear it live. I love when Gene and Paul trade vocals, and Paul comes in so strong, and his just shows how strong his voice was even back in 73 and 74 off the date during the debut time. So, but yeah, for me, it's Let Me Know for this one.
Yeah, same here. And pretty much for the exact same reason that you said. Anytime you get Paul and Gene trade off vocals, I mean, to me, it just makes the song better. It just takes it to a different level. And this was a big song, for Kiss fans. This is a big song. And Tomorrow and Tonight's good. I don't have a problem with it. It's just Let Me Know is just a little bit more significant. So between the two, I had to go with Let Me Know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So where does that put us?
3-2. So 3 for the debut and 2 for Love Gun.
All right.
But that is about to change.
All right. So that takes us to, we're flipping the vinyl and we're going to track 6. And that's going to be Kissin' Time off of the debut, going up against the title track off of Love Gun. Love Gun, Paul Stanley's favorite song ever. What's your prediction?
Even with fatigue for Love Gun, I'm telling you right now, Love Gun is going to take this. If Kissin' Time gets more than 10 votes, I will be extremely shocked by that.
Okay. Love Gun for me as well. That's my prediction. It wasn't hard to predict that. So Love Gun for me as well. I don't think there's no fatigue in the world that could have it beat Kissin' Time, or have Kissin' Time beat it. Right. Okay, so with 3 votes, coming in as the loser of track 6, Kissin' Time, and deservedly so.
Yes.
And so Love Gun, 53 points. Not the biggest win of the album. Not the biggest win. There are 2 more bigger wins to come.
I can predict what they will be, but we'll wait.
There are 2 more bigger wins to come. Me personally, on this one, I believe it or not, there's something that's going to surprise some of you. But between Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, and between Love Gun and Kissin' Time,
yeah.
Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Where'd that come from? My brain just went back to 3 weeks ago. Between Love Gun and Kissin' Time, Love Gun. I don't hate Kissin' Time. I mean, some people out there hate Kissin' Time, but Love Gun to me is, I have heard Love Gun enough in my lifetime. If Paul Stanley personally retired it and said, we're not going to play Love Gun ever again, which that day will never happen. They will play Love Gun on their very last show. I think it's been played ever since it was debuted. Kissin' Time can't beat Love Gun. Love Gun is a good song, but I just don't have the same affinity for it that everybody else does. So I'll let you talk about your reasoning, but Love Gun for me, just because I wasn't going to pick Kissin' Time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really, when we were doing our lists, I didn't even really look at what was up against Kissin' Time. I just knew, like, well, whatever it is, that's what I'm going to pick. And when I realized it was Love Gun, it was like, oh, perfect, because I love that song anyway. See, I'm the complete opposite of you, though. There is no fatigue for me with this song. I could listen to this song back to back to back to back, and I have done that on occasion. I love it so much. It is such a powerful song. It is such a great showcase of Paul's vocals, and a little bit of a taste of where he was going to take his vocals in the 80s. And I mean, just letting him, just screaming like that, but containing it. And oh, it's just, I could talk about it forever, so I'm just going to shut up, but Love Gun all the way.
All right. Does that tie us back up?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Told you it's going to be close, guys and gals. All right, so that takes us to track number 7. And that is Deuce off of the first album going up against Hooligan off of Love Gun.
I think it's going to be Deuce for this one.
Okay. I predicted Deuce as well. And coming in with 2 points, still not the biggest win, but coming in at 2 points as the loser of track number 7, Hooligan. So that gives Deuce the win with 54 points. And me personally, I chose Deuce because I love Deuce. It's one of my favorite Gene songs. It's one of my favorite Kiss songs. I love the attitude. I've always loved, and I'll be sure to point out to somebody who's never heard Deuce before, that the very first line that he says is "Get up and get your grandma out of here." And to me, I know they started the first album with Strutter, but to me, I've said this before in videos, they should have done the first album the way they did their concerts. They started their concerts back in the day with Deuce, and Deuce to me should have started the debut album, and Strutter could have been second, or Strutter could have started the second side. But I think that Paul had already established himself as the front man back then, and he was the star. I think that's why he changed his makeup from the Bandit to the Star. And Paul was, even though they were 4, I think Paul always wanted to stand a step or 2 out ahead of everybody else, even from the very beginning. It's just his personality. And I think Gene was okay with him letting him have that, even though they were the co-leaders and did the bulk of most of the singing, that Gene let Paul stand just a couple steps ahead of him, because as long as Gene was getting paid and getting laid, he didn't care.
Right. And I think also Gene knew that his personality was a little bit more vibrant than Paul's. And so he knew, okay, fine, Paul can have that. I'm going to be over here and people are still going to be paying attention to me. So.
Yeah, because what's funny is Gene during the 70s still became the face of Kiss.
Right.
It's like you saw Gene's face on more albums than on more magazine covers than anybody's.
Yeah.
And Gene Simmons became the most, and to this day is still the most noticeable member. Everybody knows Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley. I really hate it when you see like these younger people, and I'm not trying to get down on you younger people, because you became a Kiss fan when you became a Kiss fan. But I love whenever you see people, they're like, who's that? And it is blatantly Ace Frehley or Peter Criss, and they'll go, oh, that's Tommy Thayer, or that's Eric Singer. And I'm just like,
right. Yeah.
Get it right, man. But yeah, Love Gun though is just Deuce is, let me get together. Deuce is that song that I think should have led the album off. So to me, it's Deuce. Hooligan is a good song. It's one of my more favorite Peter songs. But it's, it sounds like Love Gun. It sounds like that Love Gun sound. It has that. Peter's songs always have a tendency to sound like the rest of the album. Because, it's take this example for a second. You could stick a Gene song off of, like you could take Dr. Love off of Rock and Roll Over and put it on Love Gun. It would fit.
Oh,
you could take Christine 16 off of Love Gun, put it on Rock and Roll Over. It would fit.
Yeah.
You could not take Hooligan off of Love Gun and put it on Rock and Roll Over. It wouldn't fit. You couldn't take Baby Driver off of Rock and Roll Over and put it on Love Gun. It wouldn't fit, because Peter's songs have a tendency to sound like the album that they're on.
Mm-hmm.
And at least to me, they do. And Ace's songs, once Ace started making songs and singing them himself, they didn't sound like any other song on the album. Shock Me. There's no other song on Love Gun that sounds like Shock Me.
Right.
You go to the 5 songs on the 4th track, the 4th side of La Live 2, Rocket Ride. There's some great songs, All American Man, Larger Than Life, You know, there's some great songs on the Fourth Side of Alive too, but they don't sound like Rocket Ride. So, and Ace's songs on Dynasty, 2000 Man to me doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like Sure Know Something. It doesn't sound like I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah.
So it's like, but Peter's songs have a tendency to sound like whatever album they're on. And that's just my off the road tangent there that you guys get to hear about. But yeah, Deuce for me.
Yeah, me too. I love Deuce. I just think it's such a great song. It's such a great Gene vocal. It's just kind of it's a heavy song. I thought it was great on the debut album. I totally agree with you. I think if it would have been the opener or at least the first song for side 2, totally would have changed the album sound, but I just think it's great as it is. I love it. Hooligan, maybe my least favorite Peter song. I don't like anything about it. I just do not like that song. But yeah, I love Deuce. So I think I always choose Deuce whenever it's up against something. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I don't think I've chose against it yet. All right, so where's that leave us?
4 for the debut and 3 for Love Gun.
I have a feeling that the debut, I have a feeling Love Gun's getting ready to catch up. That brings us to track number 8, which is Love Theme from Kiss off the debut album against Almost Human off of Love Gun. So what's your prediction?
I think the panel is going to go with Almost Human, and I am almost positive of that.
I think that they were going to go with Almost Human as well. And coming in at number 2, coming in as the loser with 10 points, Love Theme from Kiss. So the winner of track 8, Almost Human, with 46 points. My vote, my pick is Almost Human. And I know that the hardcore Kiss fans, they always hate me when I say this. This is one of those where I just kind of, I picked one because I'm not the biggest fan of Love Theme from Kiss without Acrobat and Much Too Young. I know you like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think I don't like that they cut its balls off and made it what it is, even though it showcases, like you said, it showcases the band a little bit as musical, and a lot of bands did instrumentals and stuff back then. Almost Human, a lot of people love that song. Ralph Vieira over on Almost Human loves Almost Human. And I don't hate it. It's like the follow-up Demon song. It's like Gene was just trying to reincarnate the demon over and over. And to me, it's just like, I see you, Gene. I see what you're trying to do. And it's wearing a little thin to me personally. It's just one of those songs I've never really got into all the way back to being a kid. I've never really got into Almost Human. But I did pick Almost Human over Love Theme from Kiss. If Love Theme from Kiss would have actually been Acrobat, hell yeah, the one hands down. But for this one, for me, Almost Human just by lesser of two evils for me.
Yeah. This was by far, this was the hardest one for me to choose because I love both of these songs so much. And I had to go with my heart on this one. You're going to hate it. I had to go with Love Theme from Kiss. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And I know it's not Acrobat, but I just love it. I love it so much. And Almost Human is fantastic. It's like it's a little bit of a funky sound for Kiss. It's for some reason that song just stands out to me. It just sounds so much different than any other Kiss song I've heard. And I really, really like it. I was kind of bummed I couldn't choose it, but I couldn't say no to Love Theme from Kiss. So that's what I went with.
All right. That ties us back up.
It does. Yep.
All right. So that's the only one me you picked opposite on.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a feeling, I thought that you were probably going to go in that direction. I didn't know you had loved I couldn't remember if you loved Almost Human as much as that, but I kind of thought you might have leaned in that direction. All right. So that it takes us up to track 9, which is 100,000 Years versus Plaster Caster.
I think this is going to be a really close one for the panel. But I think the panel's going to go with 100,000 Years.
Okay. I thought they were going to go with 100,000 Years as well. I thought OGs were going to rise, and
yeah,
and 100,000 Years was going to win. This wasn't as close as you think it is. Plaster Caster actually lost this one. It only got 10 points, and
oh wow,
100,000 Years, 46 points for 100,000 Years. Now I'm going to piss some more people off, because even though I love 100,000 Years, I actually like the album version better than the concert version, because of that long ass drum solo and Paul's stage, Reverend Preacher Paul doing his thing with the crowd and making that song about 10 minutes longer than it needs to be. But I love Plaster Caster. Plaster Caster is one of those songs off of Love Gun, other than Shock Me and Have Love for Sale, Christine 16. Plaster Caster is one of those songs I really look forward to. I love the whole idea, even though Gene was never plaster cast. We've all wrote about things that we've never done. That's called fiction. And
or wishful thinking.
Or wishful thinking. And in Gene's case, probably wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And Plaster Caster, it just has so many elements about it. I just love it. I love the way Gene sings in it, that little sultry voice. The hour's getting late. I mean, I just love the way he sings in this. I love everything about Plaster Caster. So it beats 100,000 Years in this case in my book, even though I love 100,000 Years. But I had to go with Plaster Caster on this one.
Yeah, same here. To me, this song has to be on Love Gun. It's just such a great representation of the album, in my opinion. To me, Plaster Caster and Christine 16 are like sister songs. Like, they just are to me. And there's probably people who have no idea what Plaster Caster is. They have never heard of that. They don't know what that is, what he's referring to. But it's such a fantastic song. And I think it was probably Gene doing a little wishful thinking. Is that is it Dr. Hook? Is it Dr. Hook? I don't remember the cover of the Rolling Stone, that song, where they sang the song and then they got the cover. And I kind of think maybe Gene was trying to do that, but didn't work out for him. No, it's raunchy. It's raunchy. It's creepy. It's Gene being sweaty, but it somehow works and doesn't sound illegal. And I just love it. I can't get enough of Plaster Caster.
All right. So what does that bring us to?
5 for the debut and 4 for Love Gun.
Okay. All right. And so that brings us to track number 10, and that is Black Diamond against the cover of Then She Kissed Me off of Love Gun. So what is your prediction?
I mean, come on. It has to be Black Diamond.
To me, it had to be Black Diamond as well. It's the classic. It's almost a juggernaut, iconic song in itself that takes on its own personality. So I predicted Black Diamond as well. The loser, 1 point. 1 point. The worst beating of the album. The loser, Then She Kissed Me, scored 1 point. So that means Black Diamond is the winner with 55 points. My pick, Then She Kissed. No, I'm kidding.
So you're the one.
No. My pick is Black Diamond. Black Diamond is just, it's Black Diamond. We can't say any more that we've not already said. And it's just great. The live version's better. But it's great. I love it up until they start slowing the tape down. I know that you like the tape being slowed down. I listen to it up until the first couple hits, and then when they start slowing the tape down, I usually move on. I can't take it all the way to the very end. It's just too, but you know, Black Diamond for me. So what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be Black Diamond regardless of, I mean, to me, Love Gun, the album ends with Plaster Caster. I don't even listen to Then She Kissed Me. It just, I just, like I said, it ends with Plaster Caster for me. I don't know the reason why they did this song. I don't know. And I wish I did know. I wish somebody would say, "Oh, we did it because of this reason." I've never heard that before. It's just bad. It's bad. It didn't need to be done. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. And yeah.
I used to always think that, well, you know, Kiss was putting albums out like every 6 months. And I know that sometimes they got a little short on material, but they're actually legitimate. There are legitimate demos out there of songs that was rejected for Rock and Roll Over. And there are songs out there that was rejected for Love Gun. There are songs out there that was rejected for Destroyer. And even Ace had some songs. At this point in time, Ace himself has said that he was rat holing some songs. But he had some ideas. And I think the fact that just due to the fact that Ace had to record Shock Me laying on his back, and even when he started recording his 1978 solo album, he started out on his back. And by the end of it, he was, you know, fully, you know, where he needed to be. I think that they could have done something else, and I don't know why they petered out an album in the way that they did.
Yeah,
because they could have put almost any other song on Love Gun, and I will say this: that, you know, I skipped Then She Kissed Me. I can't stand it. It's before it even starts playing, it gets skipped.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a definitely hell to the no for that. So that finishes out. What is that? 6-4?
6-4. So the debut wins by 2.
So debut wins 6-4 by 2. Recapping real quick the winners. I Stole Your Love, 1 track 1, Nothing to Lose, 1 track 2. Firehouse, 1 track 3, Shot Me, 1 track 4, Let Me Know, 1 track 5, Love Gun, 1 track 6, Deuce, 1 track 7, Almost Human, 1 track 8, 100,000 Years, 1 track 9, and Black Diamond, 1 track 10. So, favorite album cover. This one to me is a no-brainer. Want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
This one right here. Even though this is iconic as it is, this to me is Kiss. That is Kiss. My favorite costumes, my favorite era, one of my favorite album covers. It's not my favorite album cover. My favorite album cover is actually Alive 2, but it's that same era. But yeah, Love Gun is with Love Gun and the Love Gun Girls, and then the back just where they're not there, and the tracks all messed up on the back. I've heard some people say they were trying to make it look like a phallus, which I don't really see it, but you know, maybe this way, maybe. I don't know. But I just think Kiss did that a lot of times on their, I think maybe, I've always heard a rumor that's like, because Kiss does this a lot, where their albums are, the back is wrong. And I've heard that when they printed the album, the covers, that maybe this was the original track list order.
Ah.
And then by the time it actually got pressed, the track list changed. Because that does make sense. Because if you look at the track listing, I could actually see Love Gun starting off with Love Gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then going into Got Love for Sale, Tomorrow and Tonight, Christine 16. Let's see, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would end that would end the first side with Almost Human. Then going into Plaster Caster, Shock Me. Then She Kissed Me, I Stole Your Love, and then Hooligan. So I don't know if that's the truth, but it's a theory. So what is your favorite?
I love the debut album cover so much. To me, it's so iconic, and it's all about Jean for the album cover. My eyes immediately go to Jean, and it's just, to me, that's pure Jean. I love it. But between the two, I think I have to go with Love Gun for the reasons you said. I mean, to me, that is pure Kiss. That is everything about the band, being larger than life and kind of being on their own planet and having all these women just worship them. I mean, if that's not Kiss, right? I mean, I don't know what is. And the artist just did such a fantastic job capturing not only the band, but their presence and their, what they represent. And it's a work of art. It's great. Even if you don't like Kiss or know anything about Kiss, if you just saw that album cover as a painting, it would intrigue you and you would want to know more about it. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. So I had to go with Love Gun for the album cover.
Yeah, I remember just staring at this cover, laying on the floor, listening to the album, just staring at this cover for hours and hours and hours, just looking at it. I mean, and you are right. I mean, they just they captured the whole attitude. Ace with his arms crossed, and Paul with his hands on his hip, and Peter there, and then Jean on the side, just kind of I always thought it was weird that Paul and Peter were just kind of bumped up against that like that. But I like that Ace, if you notice that, and this is something weird too, if you ever really look at it. Let me show it here, get it up where, like, Jean, and there's definitely no separation between Paul and Peter, like absolutely none whatsoever. And then you look over at Jean, and Jean's, he's got a little bit of separation from Peter. But look at Ace. Ace is like almost out by himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's literally just almost out by himself. I mean, you can't even see. It's like Jean and Peter's, or Ace, Paul and Peter's legs. It's like whose are who,
right?
But Ace, he's just like kind of almost to himself, kind of turned away from the band, and I don't know. It's just kind of interesting.
Which isn't too far from reality.
Right. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. And I don't know if any of y'all have seen this. I just kind of take an opportunity to show this. This is that Walmart press that just came out of this album, and it's very pretty. Just take a second to show this here. If I can girl. You ain't gonna want to come out, are you? It's kind of pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things I love about this album is this right here. The blood written on the marble. That's just so cool. I've said before, my little 9-year-old mind was just going to Jean, spitting that blood out. In my mind, Jean did that. Jean spit that blood out on the table in the word Kiss, and that's the way we thought when we were kids, watching and listening to that. So, all right, so that's it for that episode. We're going to talk about what we're going to do next, and we have little announcements towards the end here, so stick around for that. The next track versus track, like I said, when it gets posted on my social media, there will be a link to going to a SurveyMonkey website to be able to put in your tracks. You'll be able to just pick one or the other for track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is going to help me, and it's plus going to help a lot of you, because some of you just are still quite confused about exactly what track versus track is. You get them in the wrong order. You have 2 of the songs picked, and you got 2 of the songs you're supposed to be picking against, not even on your list. And so this is just going to kind of help you. It's going to help you help me, and make it easier for both of us, make it easier for you to vote at one central location, and make it easier for you to be able to me to be able to tally the votes. So we're going to go ahead and talk about, before our announcement here at the end, we're going to talk about the next one's, oops, did you see it? Did you get a look? Let me just go ahead and show you. Viewer requested. Viewer requested Psycho Circus. The Psycho Circus. And Psycho Circus, as it stands, has 10 tracks on it. But the album we're going to put it up against has 11 tracks. So you're going to have to go online and you're going to have to find the song from Ace called In Your Face. Okay? In Your Face is going to be track number 11. It'll show you on the Survey Monkey thing. So In Your Face is going to be track number 11. All right, there's the puppy dog. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's making his he's making his YouTube debut. We always stop for dogs.
Yeah.
Always stop for dogs. So what's it going to be against, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. Viewer requested against Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom has 11 tracks. So just so you know, it's going to show on Survey Monkey, but In Your Face is going to go against track number 11, Say Yeah, off of Sonic Boom. So that is going to be the next track versus track for Kiss. All right. So be looking for that on my social media. I know on Instagram I can't post links. So you'll just have to, from Instagram, go to either Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube and find the post and click on the link and go to Survey Monkey there. All right. So we do have a little announcement. It's not goodbye. It's just so long for now. Because you heard earlier I was talking about that Carla was getting quite busy at work. So, and I think my throat's just dry. And I'm actually not cracking up. I'm not cracking up on you, Carla. Don't go. Don't go. Carla's needing to take a break because she's got a lot of work going on at work, and so that whole concert thing was talking about. You know, she works as a DJ, works in radio, and you're basically living it at work right now. It's what you were saying. So I just want you to say whatever you feel like wanting to say to the viewers. I know they love you, and they're all right now going, no. But
yeah. So if you didn't know, I work in radio, and it's just been a crazy year because now everybody's announcing, oh, we're going to be doing a tour, or all of these things that we had canceled last year, we're going to be doing them all this year. So it's a lot. And I want to make sure that, you know, I don't want to be the one to hold up a video or anything like that. And so I'm just going to step away for a little bit. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who's welcomed me into this Kiss family. I don't really have any friends or family that like Kiss or that really listen to them.
None of us do. None of us do. We're the only thing we've got.
Right. And so I've never really been able to talk about them to this extent. And it's just been so nice to be able to do that. And there's been so many people that have, you know, DM me on Instagram, and we talk now. We even talk about things that aren't Kiss related. And it's just so cool to just know that there's people out there who are into the same things you're into. So I just want to say thank you for welcoming me into this world and, or into this family. And if you do want to connect with me, Instagram's the best way. My name it's really weird. It's Thyle Garden, THAYILGARDEN, all one word. But just send me like a DM and say, hey, I know you from YouTube. I know you from the Kiss videos, because I get a lot of DMs from like weird listeners. And I want to make sure that I'm responding to you and that I'm not like just blowing you off because I don't know who you are. So yeah, just make sure you mention the Kiss videos, and then I'll friend you and we can talk and everything. So
yeah, and don't be creepy. Don't be creepy to Carla now, because if she tells me, I will call you out. Don't be creepy to Carla, okay?
No, none of the Kiss family has ever been creepy. And in fact, I want to give a shout out to Darklight, because he just messaged me and he was listening to my radio station, and so I just want to say thank you for that. But yeah, just find me on Instagram, and I'm sure I'll pop up every now and then on a video. But just thanks.
Yeah, yep. Just for a little while. And I was telling her off air before we started that she's welcome back anytime. And we are going to keep the track versus tracks going. The track versus tracks are probably going to slow down just a little bit as far as Kiss goes. And we're going to be doing the deeper dives. And so that's going to give an opportunity for you guys to, the deeper dive is I want it, the way I envision it is being kind of like a radio talk show where I start the thing off and I maybe have a guest and we start talking, and then we put the link in the chat. And if people have the ability to have a webcam or whatever, they click on it, they get into the waiting room, and then we just bring them on for, I did this on one of my videos, experimenting with StreamYard. And we had Super Kiss come on for a little bit. We had Dylan Tucker come on for a little bit. Matthew Smith came on for a little bit. He was in his kitchen making pizza. I was talking to Matthew today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday, trying to get him in this video. But he had something he had to do. So Matthew Smith's going to be back. It's always fun hanging out with him. And Emily's going to be back. And also CC, the Love Gun Girl, she's going to be back. So, and maybe there's some of you who've been in a video. I know that there's several of you who still watch that's been in videos in the past. And we can circle around. And I would like to have a lot of you back on these deep dives, because we're just going to talk about Kiss albums very informally. We're going to talk about the band during that time, what was going on in the era during that time. And we're just going to sit down just like people in a room and just have a conversation about Kiss. And it's just the best way to spend an evening, just, talking about your favorite band. And there's also going to be other stuff coming. I will say this. I was thinking about whether I was going to say this or not, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You're probably going to see a slowdown in my videos. I know that it's been about 4 weeks by the time this comes out. It's been about a month since the last one. And you're probably going to see a little bit of a slowdown and a little bit of maybe a track versus track once a month, maybe a deep dive once every other month or every 6 weeks. And because I'm just so super busy, I was telling Carla just before we started, I dug a 20-foot trench, 20-foot long trench in my backyard from when I got home until like 15 minutes before I started the video. The inside of my hand is blistered, and I am exhausted. I'm hurting around my ribs, and I'm still recovering from when I fell at the beach. So I'm still recovering from that, and I'm old. I turned 52 a couple, back in April. So a couple months ago now, I turned 52. And did I turn 52? Yeah, I turned 52. I'm at that age. You just don't know what day of the week is it? I was thinking today was Friday. And for the longest time, I think till like 3 p.m, I was thinking today's Friday. And I was like, shit, it's Thursday. So it's just that kind of, so I still want to give you guys good quality content. I just don't want to throw stuff out or just always be live or stuff like that. I want to give you guys good quality content, but you may see a little bit of slowdown in some videos, but I'm not going anywhere. If you don't see one for a while, you will see one. And, but I appreciate you guys. I've been going for 3 years and 2 months now. And I'm almost at 3,000 followers, and that kind of blows my mind that 3,000 people care to hear what I have to say or care to take the time to troll me. I mean, comment good or troll me, you're still giving me YouTube impacts. So, you know, joke's on you. Still making me money. Joke's on you. So, you know, but you know, it's been fun, but you know, I do have a lot I have to do, and I don't want to get burned out. I don't want to get burned out. I don't want to lose my passion. And you guys, I hope you guys really understand that. We're just going to continue moving forward. I'm not going to be doing 2 videos a week for a while. Like I said, maybe a live once or twice a month, because those are easy and fun. And then maybe the other 2 times, maybe a 3rd time and a 4th time out of the month, there'll be something that actually is scripted and written and put together and put out. But Carla, I just want to appreciate you for being here with me. I mean, I was looking back, and we've done quite a bit of videos together, and I always told you almost at the end of it when we got off, you know, that you can always say when you're done. And I understand that you're not done. No. It's just, you know, she's not done. She's, like I said, if you want to see her, go over Instagram and check her out and interact with her, and don't be creeps, because I'll come and get you. Just, yeah, she's there, but she'll be back in some videos, and she's welcome anytime. Just like anybody that's been on my channel in the past, you're welcome anytime. Hit me up, and we'll figure out something we can do. It may not be for a month or 2 or 3, but we'll get something on the calendar, and we'll figure something out. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Carla, it has been a pleasure and an honor for you to take time out of your schedule. You know, sometimes we were doing these weekly, and I really, really, truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart being my co-host Carla and my executive producer. Who's going to keep me straight now, Carla?
I know. And I mean, I just have to say thank you as well. I mean, I was a fan of your channel. And in fact, it really helped me get through COVID in 2020 at the beginning, when everybody was in lockdown and there was nothing to do, and everything was closed. And I found your channel, and I just watched it, you know, every single video back to back. And it just made the day go by so much easier. And it just was great. And I just randomly messaged you one day just to say, hey, I like your channel. I think it's great. And you were like, oh, thanks. You want to be in a video? Like, okay. And
that's usually my default response. I mean, it's because usually if somebody watches me, and it usually humbles me to the point where I'm like, oh, you're a Kiss fan? You're a big Kiss fan? Let's be in a video and let's talk about it.
Right. And I mean, that's really what it was. And I mean, like I said, I don't have a lot of friends or family that are really into Kiss. So to me, it was like, oh my gosh, I get to like talk about Kiss with somebody who's not annoyed by it. Like, this is amazing. So
exactly.
So yeah, I just have to say thank you so much for not only letting me on, but just for making this channel a thing, and just giving us fans an outlet. And it means a lot. So thank you.
I appreciate that so much. I do appreciate every video watch, every comment, every like. Like I said, I do appreciate you guys, y'all reaching out to me, and just like Carla did, and just reaching out. And I had somebody the other day ask me, they messaged me and they asked me if everything was okay, if I was all right. They remembered that I'd fell, and they were just checking in on me. And they were just like, they wasn't asking about when a video was coming. They were just like, just wanted to check and make sure you were okay. And I, you know who you are. And that really humbled me that person took time out of their day to check in on just some guy on YouTube. Yeah, so I really appreciate each and every one of you that watch. If you've been in a video before, let's do it again. And if you haven't been in a video yet, hit me up, and we can make it work and find something to talk about. And if we have chemistry that people want to watch and things like that, then we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Even with my busy schedule, I'm still going to make the time to make videos. I just want to be doing videos about what I'm passionate about, not just doing them because it's what I think I should be, what I think people think I should be doing, if you understand what I'm saying. So
yeah.
So so y'all may see some stuff that you don't really care to see. You may see me mod an Xbox to play modern games, and it may not be your deal, but I may run into somebody else someday who wants to see that. I actually had somebody comment the other day and tell me that, hey, thanks for showing me how to take your microwave apart. I have a microwave just like it. Now I know how to take it apart without having to take it apart. Mm-hmm. So it's just that video's just kind of been hanging out there, you know. And I got a cooking video that I've done with my wife that I still got to edit. So that's still coming, where we made pizza with you know, keto low carb dough. It's made largely out of cheese. So it was delicious. I just got to get it edited. It's just I've been too busy to really do stuff. So you're going to see some stuff like that. Me and my wife, we just recently got a Challenger, and so we're going to be traveling and doing stuff. And we're thinking about just maybe pulling out the camera one day and just shooting little shorts, like videos that's less than 5 minutes, and being able to just put some content up there for you guys to see. It may not be necessarily be Kiss, but it'll be about me and about things that I like and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, there's stuff like that coming. So that's all for now. Be sure to look out for the link, that stream for the Survey Monkey for Psycho Circus versus Sonic Boom. That'd be the next track versus track. Appreciate you all, every one of you. And Carla, appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being by my side for a little bit. And we'll definitely see you again soon in another video.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all we got, guys. Y'all keep it easy. Keep your mind straight. Stay healthy and have fun. See you in the next one.
See ya.